Everybody who knows me or has followed the channel knows that I'm extremely interested in boxing, combat sports, and business too. Whether it be developing your business, showing different angles, and the new stuff that's coming out. And one of the things that I always try to do is be on the cutting edge of things. And recently, I found myself in an AI loop of restaurants and what's coming down the pipe. There was a very, very interesting podcast I came across. Theo Von's a very popular podcaster, comedian, and he had on his podcast Sam Altman. Now, Sam Altman is the one who's created OpenAI. ChatGPT is, one of his babies. Sam Altman said something extremely alarming that let off bells. First of all, what I wanted to understand when I saw this pop up was, this is not a knock on Theo Von. He's way more popular than me. Has been an accomplished guy, battling back from what he has battled through. Why is Sam Altman on a podcast that is geared mainly towards the demographics of 18 to 35? It is very eerily related to what I saw in the latest political election, where everyone went to podcasting and influencers. I saw that firsthand at UFC 317 when I saw the people who got the preference were the ones. It was no longer legacy media. Maybe some people say that's good. It was more of the influencers, the TikTok, the YouTubes, and Instagrams. I saw it firsthand. So it's not something that I didn't see, or I didn't see it coming. And I don't label myself as a media guy. I'm 100%. I'm not even as smart as some of these guys in the media. So I don't look at it that way. What I looked at it as, they are now changing the narrative. That's everybody across the board who's now handling, whether it's media or what they want you to believe, or how they want to, sculpt the future of our learning and what our abilities will be. What I found very scary was, years ago, Andrew Yang talked about UBI. And what's UBI? UBI is Universal Basic Income. It comes to a point where people pull their money in and you get a check every month for basic expenses. And from what I gather, you just go out and get a regular job. And this kind of closes that gap. So that way you can live a regular life. Now, it doesn't mean that you just don't work. I think that's the misconception there. UBI, you will have to work because it's just not going to be enough to live on. The question's going to be, where are these jobs going to come from? The white collar now is in danger of losing their jobs with artificial intelligence. Now, I think the directors are the ones who are going to be in charge of the next economic boom. Directors meaning the people who make these systems, who make the software, who have these chatbots, who do all that stuff. The actual directors of those companies and businesses are going to be the ones who control what happens. The doers, if you don't get caught up with it, you're going to be left behind. That's where UBI comes in. Now, here's what they do. They say UBI, UBI, UBI. And everybody, and Sam Altman actually did a study on this. And if I could pick this up, I don't know if I have it here with me. He did a study and he had done it for a few years. I think he did it about 2 years, where he did trials. He did an open research-backed $1,000 a month study. And what it did was it showed reduced stress, increased spending on necessities, and it also did entrepreneurships. But researchers emphasized limits. Poverty wasn't eradicated and deeper systemic issues remained. So the problem with this is it's the learning curve. People are going to take this UBI, which was evident in the pandemic, that the richest person, the one who gained the most wealth, was the rich, notably Louis Vuitton. In a time when resources were abundant because we were getting checks, the people spent it. 90%, 98% of the people spent that money. As you can tell, the chart would tell you savings has gone down since the ending of the pandemic. That is a very scary issue. For me anyway, I don't know how in the world you can sustain that, because the wealth gap is getting so huge. Now, as it got the blowback of UBI will never work, we're heading towards communism. All of a sudden, they're changing the words. This takes me back to when George W. was talking about global warming. They initially said global warming.
The president defended his administration's stance on global warming.
Are we on the brink of a pronounced global warming?
Until they got backlash and they changed it. What did they change it to?
Climate change poses an existential threat to our lives, to our economy.
Climate change sounds safer, less, well, it's global warming. That's just what it is. Change to climate change. UBI, and you're going to see this clip I'm going to play right here, has now changed to the people like the Sam Altmans of the world, the Elon Musks of the world. It's changed to universal basic wealth. So I'm going to sit back right now and let you guys tell me, as I play this clip, what you think. Here's the clip.
Universal basic income. Yeah, I heard you and Rogan talk about that too a while back.
I still am kind of excited about that. AI is going to do everything, and then everybody gets like a, dividend from that. I sort of like universal basic wealth better than universal basic income. And I think I don't like basic either. I want like universal extreme wealth for everybody. We got to have some new economic model where we share that and distribute that to people. I mean, it's a crazy idea, but in the spirit of crazy ideas, if the world can generate like 8 quintillion tokens per year, if that's the world, let's say the world can generate 20 quintillion tokens per year.
Tokens of?
Like each word generated by an AI.
Okay.
Just making up a huge number here.
Okay.
We'll say, 12 of those go to, the normal capitalistic system, but 8 of those, 8 quintillion tokens are going to get divided up equally among 8 billion people. So everybody gets 1 trillion tokens. And that's your kind of universal basic wealth globally. And people can sell those tokens. Like if I don't need mine, I can sell them to you. We could pool ours together for some like new art project we want to do. But instead of just like getting a check, everybody on Earth is getting like a slice of the world's AI capacity. And then we're letting the like massively distributed human ingenuity and creativity and economic engine do its thing.
Would you rather have income or wealth? So it's how you present the story and how you present the narrative that you're either going to get the people to buy in or revolt. Now, as you look at that clip, that would worry me if I was someone who was all for freedom. Because where's the end game? Where's their end game? I don't know what their end game is. We don't know. Nobody knows. But if you have people at the top that are controlling the tokens, as he said, where does that leave the other people? This is why I believe everybody should spend every waking moment learning about coding, about ChatGPT, about Grok, Perplexity, about DeepSeek. I think there's so much there for us to learn right now. This could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. The jury's still out, in my opinion, as to how much this is going to frame the way we live now. It will probably be really scary for people like my age up to about 60, but the kids coming through, it'll be normal. I truly believe UBI, they can call it UBW, but UBI, Universal Basic Income, will be at the forefront of our economic system in the next 3 to 5 years. And it'll keep the people who don't continue to develop behind, and the people who will continue to develop, and the people who embrace artificial intelligence, they will move forward while the others fall behind, and the system keeps running. This is uncharted waters, I think, for us as an economic powerhouse. I don't know if this is the collapse of the economic system and then comes up a new economic system, because that's what happens when a dynasty collapses. It collapses and a new currency comes up. Will that be UBI? Will that be Bitcoin? Will that be some other form of the mix? I don't know. I certainly see cash going away in the next 5 to 10 years. I just don't know where. To me, this seems like we're at a crossroads right now as to where we go and where you go with what you decide to do. You have got to get on board with AI or you will be left behind. I am a strong proponent in the traits because I think those are going to be around for a little bit longer. Those who build restaurants are based around AI like that are going to be here a little bit longer. I don't see the robot system coming in for a business like mine for the next 15 years because it'd just be too expensive for a small business, a small mom and pop business. Small businesses are, I think, 350 employees and below. We are not small, we are micro. That's the mom and pop, the 5 to 7 to 10 employees, some part-time, some full-time. So those kind of scenarios are still out there. Whether they eat up the market from the outside in because those people lose their jobs and can't afford to buy, remains to be seen. That's still out there. That's still an actual issue. But look at this video that I put up. Rewatch that, what they say. When they want, and I say they because the people who have the 1% money, when they want a narrative to be read, they start to infiltrate where everybody has their eyes. Just look at the last political race. Now, I'll say I'm 48. There is not one day that goes by that I don't look at what the future is going to hold for my businesses. We don't know right now. The evidence is there. It's in plain sight. It's right there. They're telling you where you're going. So if I were you at this time and I was someone coming through between the 18 and 35 demographics, I would spend, and even actually later, even now, because every day and every waking minute that I can, I try to find new ways that AI can help me develop, whether it's through finances, whether it's through faster services, whatever it is, I use it to my advantage before it uses me. Some people say it's scary. I don't know. I'm using now systems in place that AI does a lot of that from me. But again, don't be the doer, be the director. Be the director, because the director's the one that's going to have all the power. He's going to be the one who's controlling what the doers are going to do. Embrace AI. That's what I would say. But make sure you're a director, not the doer. I'm George Zapata. Thanks for watching.